Okay, we're going to do a little clarification on the Weber logo bumper video and what it's supposed to be. There are a lot of interpretations. Some people like to use the scratches of a claw and have the claw come and make it look like it's coming and like clawing the entire screen off. And other people are taking my animation a little more literally, where it's the Weber State Wildcat shield coming and wiping really, really close to the camera and then backing away, and then the camera doing a 3D turnaround, and then the logo coming and going back toward the screen. So the purpose here, first of all, the logo bumper and the lower third need to be two separate video files. Okay, two separate videos. I'm not necessarily interested in your project file. I just need two video files, one with the logo bumper and one with the lower third. Both of them need to have have alpha channel in them, so you either need to have the ProRes 4444 codec with alpha or the animation codec with alpha channel when you export. And because when I bring them in, the way I'm going to check it is I'm going to bring in a piece of footage and I'm going to place your video on top of it and see if the transition works. Okay. So for your video, what I sometimes like to do for this one is I work with the transparent view in the background, or I go into my composition settings and I make the background color a color that I don't want to see. Okay? So if my background color is completely red, this is just a pretend color. When you export it, this red will disappear. It'll turn to black or transparency. So what I need from my animation is at some point the graphics need to be able to wipe on and cover up this red. Okay? So you can do that using, part of the assignment is you need to have all transparent at the beginning, and then the graphics need to wipe it on so that it's all opaque, and then they need to wipe off again so that it's all transparent. And you have to have something happen in 3D, okay? And you have to have a light that casts light onto that 3D layer so that it creates some fall off and some gradient, and then a background that the shadows can fall onto. Okay, so that's all part of the assignment. But you know, if you are having a hard time with this whole using this 3D effect, if I do a new camera, make it a 50 millimeter, go to 2 views, and then if you're having a hard time using your position settings to quickly have this layer go flying past here, something like that. Actually, that almost worked. It needs to bend in there just a little farther. Okay, right there. So if you're having a hard time creating that kind of a movement, then in theory what you could do is have this layer come through this way, do a position keyframe here, sorry, let me turn this layer off, and just have this slide through. Okay, but I need that graphic to wipe on blackness or the background of some sort. Okay, so I could just have that be my transition part, and then pre-comp my 3D stuff. 3D move, so that I create a new solid and then have it be, it could be any solid really, any color, and then have this come on behind the Wildcat logo. Oops. All right. And then have that become a track mat for the 3D move. So track mat. And then let's go into the 3D move composition and do our 3D animation with our other solid, our purple solid probably, or gray, or whatever you're using. And this needs to be 3D, needs to be pushed back a little bit, make it bigger so that it covers up that red, and then create a new light. The light needs to be spotlight, fall off none, needs to cast shadows. Shadow darkness doesn't have to be quite so dark. Shadow diffusion up a little bit. Click OK. Can pull that back. Now we need to go to the material options of the solid layer and turn on accepts shadows. That is on. And we need to go to the material options of the WSU logo and turn on cast shadows. There. Now we can do our little camera move going this way. Position keyframes. Move that off to the side here. Got to make that purple solid bigger. Can't see any transparency, or I'm in big trouble. Oops. Just make it bigger. Okay. All right, now if I go back to the main comp, this is being wiped in, and then we could just do the exact same thing where we duplicate this layer. No, duplicate this layer, have it slide through again, and then do the opposite. Have this start moving right here, and then have it wipe off using a track mat. Okay, what's going on here is automatically After Effects will add auto Bezier to the position keyframes. So this one needs to hold, and then it'll stay put.
What did you click just there?
I right-clicked on this and I said toggle hold keyframe. So that'll take that Bezier off and have it stay there until it's ready to move away again. And you need to go off screen. So I have full transparency at the beginning. Okay. That's one thing you can do. I did see one already that like the claw came in, like a couple of claws have gone, and then they've made an X, and then the X opens up, you know, to reveal the logo underneath, and then more scratches or something. I've had, you know, the cat logo, the Wildcat logo, come flying straight at the camera, and then as it's coming toward the camera, they've gone and created a second Photoshop layer that has the mouth cut out, and then the mouth turns into a transparent as it's coming in, and then as it's going past the camera, the mouth becomes the window for the video to come in underneath. You know, just whatever you want to do, so long as we have this little transition element where the logo comes in for a second and then it goes away, and it all integrates so that we have time while this logo's full screen to swap the video out to our correspondent in the field or whatever it is. Okay, and then as of right now, I think I feel like the lower thirds have been pretty good, but this bumper is a transition element. It's to get you from one part to the next part in a news coverage. Or if it were an animated series, it'd be the, I don't know if you guys remember the old, like, oh yeah, Transformers. Because like the Decepticon logo would come in, it'd swap, turn into a Autobot, and then it would fly past again. Like that's all this is. It's a little Thundercats. Yeah, Thundercats did it. Ghostbusters, the old animated series.
Yeah.
Care Bears, did they do it?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Rainbow Bright,
Justice League.
Justice League,
The Avengers.
Strawberry Shortcake. Yeah, everybody did. So that's what this is. The news does it all the time. All right. That's all the clarification I think I wanted to add. Does anybody want to ask
So
any
the
questions?
The problems that you've seen so far is that we're not getting the whole back.
Yeah, that like it needs to start out because this frame right here, this is video. Video is happening. And then this logo comes in and covers up the video. We see it for a second, and then there's another wipe element that happens to reveal the second shot. Okay? So for this part, it's shot A, gets covered up by the logo. Logo leaves to reveal shot B. Okay? Without doing a crossfade or a cut. Or, you know, this is a way to eloquently move from one thing to the next. Question?
Can you show how to grab that second view that you got on the left real quick again? Just with that on with the camera thing over here.
This two up.
Yeah.
This is two views, and it's the horizontal layout, so they're next to each other, side by side. If I do vertical, they'll be on top of each other. If I do multiple views, I could do 4 views, so that I can see all of them at the same time.
All on the camera. Like,
So this one would be, this is front, this is the top view. Of course, this is a, let's go to this one. 4 views.
How'd you do that again?
Well, I wasn't looking at my 3D layer,
Oh,
or my 3D
how
comp.
did you put a 3D layer on here?
The cube,
Oh, okay.
if you turn turn on that cube, then it makes it a 3D layer. It's a 2D object. It's like
Right.
it's like a piece of paper.
And you just change into 3D space, right?
Yeah, you're just putting it in 3D space. Piece of paper has more depth than 1 pixel even. Any other questions?